as the Aquafarian move toward us to meet us, the ropes gently are swooshing on the floor. The floor is a selenite crystal floor, which is quite beautiful. When we get into this temple, we will see that it is a clear selenite that has a bit of a milky quality to it, gives a diffused pale violet light that we stand upon, as if standing upon a milked glass floor with life underneath it. So as they are coming toward us, one of the first things we will notice is there is a feeling of joy and love and welcome and quiet, humble confidence and knowing that they carry with them. They are joyful, but not bouncing around and giggly joyful about meeting us. They are very, very proud of us down here. That finally, we have been able to finish what we came to do, to open the chambers. The chamber that we have opened through this process of this journey is the Shala 13 chamber that runs through Spinner 7, and we've opened the Ring 1 level of this. So the Ring 1 elevator is now functional. It is an elevator literally between Earth and Eartha. So they are very proud of us and happy for us, because they know how much eventually this will mean to us once we actually realize what we've done, and once we start to be able to use this elevator on our own personally, to come and go, to learn, to work with them, to learn more things. It is a freedom we have long waited for, and it is a freedom we can begin to learn how to share with others on this planet. So they are standing in a group. It is a large group, but it appears much larger than it actually is. There are a group of 24 of them, and there are 3 standing off to the side, other than that. Of the group of 24, and right now, we won't get into hair color. Do they have hair? What color is their skin? All of this kind of thing. Right now, they're simply shrouded in a beautiful gold and silver light with a little bit of pink running through it, picking up from the sapphire in the sapphire tunnel. For now, you will simply perceive them as if they're shining so brightly that it is hard to see all of the detail, as if an overexposed photograph. As you get more familiar with coming to these places, you will be able to see them more clearly and more clearly as your inner vision and your Varshalay vision, your eyes of Varshalay, get more accustomed to that frequency of light. But right now, they simply, you can tell they're hominid forms, taller than you are, with a bit of elongated head. It's hard to tell if they have hair on their heads or if they have things on their heads or feathers, because the light is so bright that shines from them. But you can see their smiles. I won't get into teeth either. No, they don't have teeth because they don't eat in the way that we eat here. They don't need to do that. They breathe. So they're lovely toothless wonders, and they don't mind us calling them that. They have a great sense of humor. They are extremely loving. They are always patient. If in any of your journeys, when you use these techniques, that you find someone trying to pretend they're one of them, if they're ever sharp with you, if they ever yell at you or growl at you, or in any way throwing nasty energy at you, or just out of control energy at you, realize you are dealing with an imposter, because this particular group of 24 Aquafarian have resolved all of those type of issues within themselves. They carry a very strong field that is meant to assist those who need stabilizing of fields, because as we begin this process of activation, our bodies and our Varshalay bodies are coming alive and awake, and we will need as much stabilizing of field, calmness, everything is fine. If any problem, there's a solution to. People don't have to get worried. Their emotional bodies don't jump all over the place. So they are very, very calm and kind and loving and patient, more than saints, as they say, and expect that from them. Also understand they have a certain protocol, that yes, they will begin a process of engaging contact with you, should you ask for that contact. you can go there to meet them to the Adashi temple, and they will come when you ask, as long as you ask politely, because they expect polite in return. They are polite to you, they expect it in return. Don't demand from them, don't throw energy at them, because they'll just look at you as if a small child that has a behavior problem, and they will probably not respond to the tantrum. They will instead wait until you burn yourself out in tantrums, and then came to, okay, I'll ask nicely, because they are very good parent figures in regard to us having to retrain our very damaged emotional bodies from being down on this planet. One of the things they will do is teach you many things, and they will soon hand you over to your private teachers that have to do with the spanner training directly. Any of these teacher groups, just so you know, they will teach you things. There are times when you will write things down, they will give you stones, the whole bit, but it is under an agreement. That agreement is, these things are for your personal use, for now. There will be a time later that as you work with the journeys, and I mean several years later, that the produce that you have brought through yourselves from communications, from learnings, from all those things, there will be an opportunity to ask us for validation. And this is the process, these people, the Aquafarian, the only process they will follow. Why? To protect you from being hijacked by the others. Because when you are down here and focused, as soon as you have an image in your mind, there are certain of those in the threshold fields that can pick your mind and create themselves in that image in order to get at you, to get your trust. So there will not be anything that is published and that kind of thing. There will not be books out yet from them given to you or any of the other 12 tribe people. But there may be private ones, private commissions that you have together. There will be a time, and if you have the guts, you will ask whether the ones who speak to us are the same ones you are speaking to. So we can either validate or say, well, that's not coming from here, that's coming from wherever. We don't have the ability to do that at this time. It will be several years before anyone is prepared for that anyway. It is not a speaker's contract. There will not be speakers for the Aquafarian, because the speakers, the three, are the ones that they will focus through. This is again to protect the integrity of the work, but more so to protect you from being misled. So now, there is one more thing that we are going to do, because I know there are people that must fly as well as float. Of the 24 Aquafarians stand before you, imagine that they back up a bit from the doorway to allow the group of us to float in. And we float in to the Adashi 7 selenite temple with its pale violet glow. And now it is a large circular shaped room with a very, very high, like being in a tower with very, very high ceilings, and its walls are made all of selenite crystal. And you can't even see the top of the inside of this. It is so high. And you are down on the floor level, standing with your Ashley body. Now, there is a large circular room that you are actually standing in, large circular base to this room. There is a large tower on top of it. What you will have next is the Aquafarian will line up in a row straight across in front of our group. And then we will line up in no particular order, but in a straight line in front of them. It doesn't matter who is which greeter. The greeters are simply there right now to bring you to those who know you in the Bendy races, that you have a connection to from other lifetimes. So your greeter will simply escort you quickly to meet your personal spanner trainer, and that trainer will know you and have worked with you in at least 3 or 4 other lifetimes besides this one. So now imagine that we are all, as a whole group, like a wave, we are stepping toward the line of the Aquafarian people, and they are stepping toward us, and we meet in the middle space between. And imagine now, and try to feel this with your physical hand as well. Your left hand will outstretch. You outstretch your left hand, and the Aquafarian, that is your greeter, will take you by the hand gently. We will all bow to each other in a line together before we break the two lines, the greeting line. And then we will each go off, and the left hand will now be linked left elbow to left elbow. And you may find they have to go up a little bit because they're taller than you are. So it's a bit of like draping your wrist through their elbow. And they will escort you in this way, which is a very formal but loving protocol as far as the gesture that is being used. And they will simply take you, and we'll all go off in different directions with this point. You will notice suddenly that you might not have noticed before, but in this circular room, all surrounding it, there are doorways, simple, nothing with doors on them, just simple crystal doorways. And each have different types of light emerging from them, some have different types of sound. And you will watch everyone scattered right now. And they will all go through different doorways. There are more than 24 doorways. There are many, many doorways. This is how big this room is. So we will each be taken to a different doorway. And simply, we will not be taken through the doorway into what lies beyond, but we will be brought to the doorway. And there, we will meet our Bende trainer, our Bende Aquarius trainer. The Bende Aquarius trainer. You will not see them yet. They will reveal themselves because they all look different. They're of all different Bende lands. They will reveal themselves to you in a way that you will most remember them in your cellular memory first. So who they were in whatever incarnation you knew them most fully,